Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back, people, to the studio. We are here. It is time for the live draw reaction, U17 World Cup. Yes, we're gonna go through that. We'll have the graphic up. We're gonna fill in the graphic as they do the picks. Of course, I cannot play the audio from it, but you don't know, probably better to hear me talk about it anyway. So people, make sure you know it's a YouTube platform with a YouTube platform. So you have to make sure to like the video. If you like the video, people, more eyes can see it. I have done my legwork, tried to drop it some places. You guys can continue that work. Share it in your respective football groups. All right, people, because we're there, you know. We're there. We had to have a lot of things going on. It's the end of the school year, so you don't know awards, this and that and the third. Julia go to our next team. Gabby have a end of our middle school basically, so she have graduation awards and this and that, and every day it's something else. But people, today we want to make sure so we're there for the live draw reaction for the U17 World Cup, people. And of course, the JFF kind of under the quiet, just dropped a squad yesterday for the Unity Cup. So we're going to utilize this showtime today. It's a special episode of Reasoning Time. Normally we just have some topics to discuss, but today we're going to do a little bit different on the Reasoning Time episode because we have some things to react to. So we're going to react in real time to the draw for the Under-17 World Cup that is due to start in about 12 minutes. So I have that ready to go. I have something set up to where we can fill it in as they make the selections for each group, and we can follow along that way. All right, people. So that's gonna be nice. You guys, of course, you don't know it's an interactive platform, so we'll definitely encourage people to make their voices heard in the comment section. We try to do our best to run the show and also include everybody in the comment section if them have some thoughts as well, because I am the host of the show, that is true, and you see my face on here, but of course you guys are the ones that keep the show going. So yeah, man, you guys continue to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I will always highlight them if I can. All right, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you are new. I know if you're dropping a comment, you have subscribed because it's unsubscribers only. So you guys, if you're new to the channel and you want to make your thoughts heard, and of course you enjoy the football discussion, you're a football fan, I think you'll enjoy this channel. So think about subscribing to the channel. We're always trying to grow the subscriber base so that more people can be involved in some, thoughtful and coherent and thought-provoking footballing discussion, right? So yeah, Joseph Brown in the building, a member of the channel. So salute to you, my JB. Bless up Jason on the chat, checking in early, dropping my like just in case I get busy at work and can't participate. Big up yourself, Joseph. And people, if you are watching the show and you can't participate because you're at work, anything of that nature, you can still be a part of the conversation when the show is finished and the upload is on YouTube. You guys can, in the comment section, continue the conversation there. You don't know, we'll communicate and then continue it in the comment section. All right. Yo, it's Alan in the building. Big up Reggae Boyz and Girls supporters. No, sorry, Reggae Boyz and Girls community. Yeah, there we go. Big up to Jamrock in the building. Yeah, man. Up. We're there. Yeah, man. Class in session. Big up yourself, Alex. Congrats on your team winning the EPL. Respect, Travis. Hold on. As you said that, Travis. Hold on. Yeah, should have wore this for the stream, you know. But sorry. People, finally, the Gunners, champs. Yeah, man. Rest it right there, so. Yeah, I can feel it. The Arsenal, you know? Yeah, man. Respect, Travis. Big up yourself. Yo, David J. Wagwan. Up. Young Cryptic in a building. One Soji. On the app. Big up yourself, Soji. Yeah, man. Make them know if I like up the thing. working and listening. Big up to David J. Again, big up to JPL player, finalist, big up Gunners from myself, a city man. All right, that's a noble fan there. A noble fan congratulating the ones that beat him, you know. Alex, this way I hide from the Elite Sports TV. No, it's a different Alex. It's a different Alex. And the same Alex. Bless up, Marvin. Yeah, man. I have to make sure I said Arsenal there somewhere, you know. I almost just wear that jersey there, you know, but I said I'm not going to do it. But you bring it up, it's all right. You know, yeah. It's going to be a long summer for a lot of the rival fans, you know. And hey, you see, anyhow, PSG mess around and make go win the game they Saturday. Yo, at that time, they don't have to go hide. Yeah, man. Oh, Rudolph Austin, the real Rudolph. Whoa, so it's the battle of the Rudolphs next week. Not even next week, Sunday. But the thing is, well, we'll talk about it later when we talk about the Unity Cup squad. But can Speed even coach the final? I don't know, you know. Big up yourself, I had one, another noble fan, congratulating us, even though the citizens have to be the ones saying congrats. But listen, man, we've been doing it for you for the last, what, X amount of years. Well, 2 out of the last 3. Yeah, I'm going for this one. I'm gonna charge, I'll move away. Like it no want to charge. So yeah, JPL playoffs was entertaining. I watched all 4 of the games basically, first and second legs. So congrats to Cavalier again, pulling it off. Kimali Scott with 2 headers, the smallest person on the field. The first header was incredible. Second one was good as well, but the first one, that was great technique for that goal. But Cavalier do it again. I mean, I think Speed, probably most fans, unless you're a Cavalier fan, or a Speed fan, was going against Speed. You know, typically he's the one everybody wants to lose. And you know, just knows how to navigate these JPL playoffs. You have to give him that. You have to give him that credit. I mean, when it comes down to the JPL, this guy is almost untouchable. I mean, nobody gets the better of him in these playoffs, and definitely not until it reaches to the final. But yeah, he did it again. I mean, Xavier Gilbert is probably gonna get a lot of the blame for that MBU. You know, I guess you have to call it a failure, to be honest. You know, when people look at this Cavalier team right now and they look at the players and the players they have lost, it don't really make any sense that they're in the final again, you know, really and truly. But it's just a testament to Speed ability to come up with a game plan. And, you know, I think one thing that you have to say about his teams, especially these Cavalier teams, that they're very hardworking. You know, everybody puts in the extra running, everybody puts in the extra yard. There's no player cheating the effort, right? They're all putting out maximum effort. So, you know, the football is one thing, you know, it's not the most aesthetically pleasing thing in the world. But is it effective? Yes, it is effective. So, you know, you have to give him that. And like I said, when it comes down to the JPL, currently, you know, there's not many that can match wits with him tactically and get the job done. You know, he's definitely figured it out in terms of how to navigate these playoffs in the JPL. And yeah, you know, you have to give him his credit. You have to give him his credit. I mean, it's not, you can't go around the credit. You have to give it to him. The other semifinals matchup was, you know, to some a big upset. You know, I did hear a few, mainly people from Portmore, saying that Portmore was going to beat Mount Pleasant. After the controversy of the first leg with the disallowed goal, I think maybe some fans kind of they probably gained some fans. You know, people don't like to see teams, you know, done wrongly. Let's just call it that. And I feel like maybe they had that sentiment vote from the neutral fan because of what happened to them in the first leg. And yeah, they just came out, and it was almost incredible how they were able to keep scoring goals. Mount Pleasant over the season was the stingiest defense. And yeah, they are one of the stingier defenses, I should say. And them conceding that many goals in a tie was a bit remarkable, and I think it was just a number of reasons, I would say, why Mount Pleasant went down in the game. But I do think that some of the defensive mistakes, some of the goalkeeping errors, Tafari Chambers definitely would have had better days than what we saw yesterday. But Portmore was just relentless. And I think, what they did show is they have more depth than maybe people think. Peter McGregor and Corey Burke both had to come off. Well, I know Corey Burke had to come off. I think McGregor just came off because it was time for him to come off. But Cohen comes on, gets a goal. Tej Bryan sets up that goal. So some subs coming on and getting the job done. So Portmore maybe have a bigger pool of players than what maybe they get credit for all the time. Because they did make a lot of changes up top. And it seemed like, when they were going forward, they were still dangerous. But I think the key right now for them is Ronaldo Robinson. He's the one that kind of is the mainstay when it comes down to their attacking. And I think over the past few seasons, Portmore has always been solid, but maybe that attacking side of the game is what let them down. And I think they have been able to put together at least some pieces that, and a couple of them on their day can really do some damage. And I think they must have more options now, and you kind of saw that come through yesterday. But Mount Pleasant, I think heads going to have to roll out there because, definitely when you look at their depth and their talent, they're a team that you wouldn't expect couldn't get over the line against a Portmore team. But it's now a few times now where Mount Pleasant has come into these JPL playoffs as most people's favorites to at least get to the final, and they haven't been able to get it done. So it's gonna be a very, 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 very crucial matchup. There'll be two crucial matchups on Sunday. The third place game is basically a game for a lot of money. The difference is playing in the Caribbean Cup or not, and that the monetary difference in what happens for you there is crucial. And with the JPL teams always kind of behind the 8 ball when it comes to finances, I think that third place game will be just as crucial as that final. When you look at Mount Pleasant, their outlay as a club, I'm sure they have the biggest payroll out of all the teams. They really and truly do need to make sure that they get this Caribbean Cup money in the coffers. So they'll be needing to win that third place game when they take on Montego Bay United. So, and I think Montego Bay probably is second when it comes down to payroll or outlay. So it's a big matchup, and one that I think these two teams definitely need the money based on how they kind of run their clubs. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see that matchup there. Mobe and Mount Pleasant for that third place. But the final is set, Cavalier and Portmore United. Should be an interesting one. Rudolph Austin versus Rudolph Speid. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting. And currently, actually, when you look at it, the head coach of the Reggae Boyz currently and the head coach of the under-20 currently. So yeah, quite an interesting matchup, and one that I'm sure all of you will be looking forward to. I did subscribe, or whatever you call it, become a member of the JPL channel. So I've been watching them on YouTube. They charged a pretty penny for the subscription, but it is what it is. I wanted to see the games and be able to talk about them. So I went ahead and got it. And apart from the second goal in the second leg of the Cavalier game, I didn't get to see it live because the stream had some issues for a few minutes there. Other than that, it's been pretty clear. I haven't had any lagging or any kind of issues like that. So big ups to the people that are doing the work in terms of showing the games. Look, it's not perfect, right? But it's definitely something that I have been happy to be able to have. So big up to everybody involved there. And 1999, I hope you guys make a little bit of money off of that. But I mean, damn man, 1999 is a bit much. But hey, like I said, when you want to see the game, you see the game. So I would love to know what kind of numbers they have gotten from that still. All right, it looks like the draw getting started. Our ladies on the screen, they have 4 pots lined up. So Jamaica is in one of those pots. So yeah, let me show you guys what I have. I'm gonna be filling this out as it goes. I think this will probably be. Oh, that's not what we need. It's definitely not what we need. Let me see. Hold on. There. I should have. Show highlights. People, if you guys want to see the footage, it's on YouTube. This foolishness again. I'm gonna tell you. All right, so if you don't want me to do it that way, then. All right, so when I leave it here, you guys can see it, right? So you guys see that? Let me know if you guys see that. I know when I do that, you don't see it, but show me that you can have all the money, still can't win. Congratulations to Portmore and Cavalier and going to the final. Yeah, man. Portmore gonna win that finals. They might play good, says David J. Bless up, Jason. Big up yourself, Stets. Peter Mystic in the building. Big up yourself. You sound bad mind. Speed the best coach of Jamaica, like it or not. Oh. Oh, Trim said the real Rudolph. Bless up, Conrad. Listen, not even one Barca, one Portmore, the man say. Aha, big up. Yo, it's a first for everything, people. Man, big up Portmore first. Bless up, Tuffy Rudy. Meek said Kalen is a big catch. Yeah, we're going to talk about Kalen today. This Saturday, Reno FC just needs to win at home to True Juice. We're back in the JPL. Yeah, man, Travis, we know. We know, say, the nil-all was a good result. I know you can go home, but hey, somebody remind me that last time we did have a home game for win too and couldn't do it. So let's see if we can learn. I hope he brings it to the national team. Yeah, Kalen, 16 years of age. A lot of thoughts on him and his inclusion I've been hearing. Yes, sir, we have to. Big up Norman Cole in the building. You have to give credit to Rudolph Speid. He has always spoke about utilizing the meta, and he does it very well. That is the most effective tactics available. For those who don't know, those are not classes. I need 50 more like in 5 minutes, please. Remember that you're getting the best over here. Yeah, man, Soche, let them know. You need 50 more likes. Yeah. Tapa job in trouble, he can get the sack in the morning. You see. Yes, Portmore is well coached. It'll be 2 well coached teams, to be honest. Indeed, I've not seen him play, but I've heard about him. When I looked up cards initially, I realized Cole could very well become the Serena. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people said that I had one that when you look at both of their projected careers, that Kalen's ceiling would be higher, Blessings flow to Agwan. Respect as well for becoming a member. If anybody else wants to become a member, just locate the join button. It should be somewhere in the description of the video, I think. If I'm not mistaken, it should just say a button that said join. Just click on it. It's not $19.99 like JPL, it's $1.99. And it's just a way to support the channel as well, So if you want to show a little extra support, you can definitely become a member of the channel. You see a few, and you highlighted in green when you make a comment, so that's how I know. So L Meeks, Float Management, JB, Joseph Brown, some people did do that extra, and yeah, we greatly appreciate those people, you know what I mean? And if you can't do that, just be sure to find that thumbs up button. All right, sack tapper, that can actually happen. Yeah, he didn't get sacked the last time. I think they stepped down and end up rehiring him. Tapan Ferguson should be fired. So much money, the best player still can't win the JPL. Well, Trevor said, sack him, sack them, you know. Arsenal win, Cavaliers win. My week suck. Speed got turned into a next muddy, slow, sloppy game. Yeah, well, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win, you know. Rudy, Leeds United, General, yeah, man. Good midfielder, man. You need to say one Barca. We don't need any cracks in space. Time continuum. Where's that Conrad? Conrad is not, yo, I'm afraid, bro. I say one port more. Yo, man, I almost rub my eye and say, yo, what that Conrad type while ago? I just one Barca alone have to be the first thing, you know. I'm gonna bless me up, then I'm gonna one Barca. You see me? One port more today. Yo, big up yourself, Conrad. I can't believe. Yes, they do have the most money in the JPL, yes. Stefan right in the building. Could this be a testament to Speed's coaching education program? Well, the people them that in beating are going through the same education. So I don't know. I don't know, brother. Best coach is subjective, absolutely. All right, so Jazim Al Jazim attack. Man, them have 5 straight U17 World Cup to host. But yeah, head coach and U20. Yeah, they're in the finals, you know. And Xavier Gilbert is another one in the coaching umbrella that's been going through the education as well. He was in the semifinals. And then who was the other coach? Tapa, who's also going through the education. So yeah, all of them. And then when you stretched out now to quarterfinals, Einstein obviously would have his education elsewhere from Waterhouse. And you have Racing Patrick. Believe Patrick is going through these programs as well, the same education. Yeah, all of them basically. Cavaliers will win because Portmore will be idiots and buff the ball into Cavaliers part of the bus. When if they just calm down, they can just play through them. Well, Rob Smith, maybe they will figure it out. Maybe. Aston Villa start off all my EPL teams yesterday, waiting on Palace, then Gunners. I win over 80,000. What? So you go for the 3 EPL team them for win the something there. You go for the 3 EPL team them for win the competition them. Or you did win the game. Okay, okay. So you'd have a 2-love deficit. This time a nil all. So you're feeling good about life. All right. Nuno Gomez, former Portugal striker, look like he's one of the ones that's gonna help out with the picking. Let me see if there's a way I can actually. Let me see if I can find this file. How many name it? 2026. So where is this now? Media. Where is this thing? Celestine Babayaro, Nigeria. All right, so let me do this and let me do this. And then let me do this. Share screen. Do this one. All right, let me know in the comment section if you guys seen that. I think you should be. Turn this down. So I think they're going through everything. 48 teams, 9 from Asia. John, let me go fast. Okay, I'm supposed to read that so fast. Mexico. You guys can see this on the screen, right? Thumbs up if you not see that on the screen. I know I not see it again, but before. If you not see it before. Why this always doing that? All right, yeah, I think I'm gonna do it like this. And then we can. Okay, cool. So when all right, when I come off of the screen, you can actually see it. That's good. Yeah, so I'm gonna fill the scene as the draw go along. So I'm showing the pots, obviously 12 teams in each pot. Pot 1, A1, pot, B1, C1 all the way through. And then pot 2, 3, 4 will be picked. And they actually go into different slots depending on where. So it look like, yeah. So we'll sort out all of them things. All right, so it looks like we're gonna start now. Remember to smash the like button, people. Low IQ, poor decision making, JPL players. If that makes him the best, I guess he's the best. I think it's more how poor coaching is in the country, to be honest. All right, so the first name out is Qatar. I think that was on purpose. So I'm pretty sure Qatar goes in A1. So Qatar is the first nation out of the pot 1. So we have Brazil, France, Mali, Argentina, Italy, Japan, Spain, USA, Mexico, Senegal, Korea, Republic. So let's see who is next. We have Korea, Republic. So I think they will go into B1. The third team out will go C1. And that is Argentina. Argentina. Next up, France. So France is up. So that's the first 4 out of pot 1. And they will all fall into the first slot. So we're just getting the top teams in each group pulled out first. So the next team will go to Group E. and it is Italy. So Italy can't make the Senior World Cup, but they are in the under 17. They'll be in Group E. Yo, the system is crazy, right? Senegal, F1. It's gonna get tricky once we get through this part, but we're gonna update it as we see them updating it here. So Senegal, so we have Brazil, Mali, Japan, Spain. We haven't seen USA or Mexico yet, and we still don't see them because G1 is going to be Mali. The African teams getting out now finally. So those are the two Part 1 African teams gone. So still have Brazil, Japan, Spain, USA, and Mexico. When will this CONCACAF team go? Let's see. And we have Spain going in Group H. España. No, man, I'm going to skip South Korea. Korea Republic, that's what they name. Brazil. So Brazil will be in Group I. And I'm purposely putting the one beside them because it's going to have an effect on what team plays who first in the round, and it will switch up as you go through. But you'll get a better understanding once we get to Part 2. So USA and Mexico still yet to be picked. This looks like it is USA. So USA will be in Group J. We have two teams left. It will be Mexico or Japan going in Group K, and one will be in Group L. So 12 groups is crazy, but that's the way of international football these days. We're gonna see this at the World Cup draw as well, which is coming up soon. And this is Mexico in Group K. So there's only one team left, and they'll go in Group L, and that is Japan. Big up yourself in a jam PL. Rob Smith say, yo, channel hope and pray ball, you know. Cavaliers that. So Part 1 is complete. I think they're gonna pick Part 2 next, but I can't really hear what they're saying, so I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like Part 2 next. So we have Morocco, Uzbekistan, Venezuela, Croatia, Ecuador, Belgium, Republic of Ireland, Colombia, Chile, Egypt, Australia, and Saudi Arabia. So that's Part 2. So let's see who will fall into Group A. So Australia goes into Part A with Qatar. Sorry, Group A. My bad. So they're gonna have to go into Group C apparently. So let me see where they actually go. I can't quite tell if. Okay, so it actually be here. So C2, Australia. Very confusing. So it looks like we're gonna see who is picked, and then they break it down. Egypt. So Egypt is the next one out, and Egypt should be able to go in Qatar's group. So I think they're gonna go in Group A. Yes, I was correct. So A2, Egypt. So the reason why Australia couldn't go in Group A, they're in the same confederation as Qatar. And they couldn't go in Group B because they're in that confederation as well. All right, so it makes sense to me now, people. I understand. Yes, that is why. Ecuador is out next, so they should have no problem going into Group B with Korea. Now, Part 2's team in Group B is down here, so we're going to say P2 and put Ecuador. So let's see who is coming out next. I'm guessing Republic of Ireland. It's actually Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia should be fine to fall into a group with France. So they will drop right into D2, Saudi Arabia. Nuno Gomez will pick another one out. Let's see. Croatia. Boom, man. Get it right. Croatia. So Croatia cannot go in Group E with Italy. So they're going to go into Group F with Senegal. F2, Croatia. All right. Boom. So I'm getting the hang of these people. Before them even show me, I'm going to tell them where to go. All right. Next team out. Can I guess it again? Colombia. It is actually Uzbekistan. So Uzbekistan, they can go into Group E with Italy. And that will be the fourth slot. E2, Uzbekistan. No, they can't. Oh, yes, they can. Yes, they can. Next team out. I'll go for Colombia. Oh, it's Belgium. It's Belgium. So that should be a grudge match with Mali in Group G. So Belgium G2. I can't type. Not determines which pot, but determines which group. I had one. Morocco is out next. They will fall into the group with Spain. And they will get slapped 4. So H2, Morocco. Next team out of pot 2's set is Chile. So Chile can't go in Brazil's group, so they will be in the group with the USA. So J2, Chile. Come on, put it on the screen, man. I don't figure it out already. Yeah, Group J. Yeah, man, Group C because they can't have. Yeah. Absolutely. All right, next team out, Venezuela. So Venezuela can't go with Brazil, so they will be in Mexico's group, and that is K2, Venezuela. People are gonna get the real-time group, you know, man. Or more than one. Before them tell you which group I'm going, I'm gonna tell them. All right, so 2 groups left. We know Colombia can't go in Brazil group, so Republic of Ireland will be going to Brazil's group, and Colombia will be in Group L. L2 Colombia, and then Group I, Brazil will get Republic of Ireland. To me, man, can't type. Bless up RR, where you deal it, bro? Blessings, my brother. Hate it there too. All right, part 3, we have New Zealand, Costa Rica, Tajikistan, Panama, New Caledonia, Honduras, Haiti, Cote d'Ivoire, Fiji, Cameroon, Denmark, and Montenegro. So part 3, first team out is Panama. So Panama will go into Group A, and they will join Qatar and Egypt in that group so far. Sure, Panama will look at that draw and be quite okay with it. So we know Jamaica cannot go into Group A. Then we have New Caledonia. So New Caledonia, they will be fine to fall into Group B. So New Caledonia will go right into Group B to join the Korea Republic and Ecuador. Third team out of pot 3, still have some good ones there. Cameroon, Denmark, Haiti. And it is Denmark, and Denmark can go into Group C. There's a South American and Asia team in there now. So they will go right into Group C in slot 4. And that is Denmark. Next team out. See where they land. And this is Haiti. So Haiti will play against France at the U17 World Cup. That should be very, very interesting. Haiti, France, and Saudi Arabia in this group as of right now. That's Group D. So that is interesting right there. Could be some players in this U17 for France and end up playing for Haiti down the road. Tajikistan is next, and they should be able to go into Group E. I believe they're Oceania team, I think. So they should be okay in that group, but let me see. So they will have to go into Group F. So I guess they're an Asia team. So Tajikistan, Group F, F3, Tajikistan. Next team out of pot 3 is Cote d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast. So Cote d'Ivoire should be able to go in Group E. Since I work with the English, Ivory Coast. New Zealand is out next, and they should be able to go into Group G. Yep. So New Zealand off the board. Costa Rica and Honduras in this pot still yet to be called. And the next one out is Fiji. So I think they'll go in Group H, I believe. But let's just wait for confirmation here. They do. Brazil, Ireland. Honduras. Wow, Montenegro. So Montenegro will have to go in Group J. They will not be able to go into that group with Ireland. So Group J, Montenegro. Yeah, man, believe me, no, brother. I'm telling you, they can't go there. I don't know if the Confed determines the position in the group. No, the position in the group was predetermined. However, they determined it. I don't know how, because I didn't hear that. but they already have them in certain slots based on what pot, regardless of what confed. So I don't think that determined that. Costa Rica is next, and they can't. Okay, they'll go to Group I. Costa Rica will go to Group I. Brazil and Costa Rica always playing each other in World Cups, you know, man. Cameroon up next, and they'll go to Group J. No, they'll go to Group K. They'll go to Group K. So K3, Cameroon. And then we have Honduras, and they will go into Group H. No, Group L, sorry. All right, so we have 36 of the 48 teams knowing what group they are in. And now the part we have been waiting for here, Jamaica in pot 4. There are 2 African slots as well. So we have CAF 1 and CAF 2. They have some playoffs to play. But those are the 2 teams that we don't know yet. So here we go. Pot 4, Greece will drop into the first group. No issues there. No European team in that first group. So they will fall into Group A from what I see. And yes, I was correct. So Group A is Greece. So another European team could go into this group, no problem. But let's see who gets called out. Serbia and Romania would be the 2 left from Europe. Could be an African team as well. Vietnam will not be able to go there. They will not be able to go into Group C. They'll not be able to go into Group D. They won't be able to go into Group E. So they'd have to go all the way to Group F, I believe. Or maybe not. Group G, yeah, because Tajikistan. So Group G for Vietnam. So Jamaica probably, I see Senegal, Croatia group there. That's a possibility. We know we can't go in Group K or Group J or L or I. So Group H with Spain and Morocco. Hopefully not. I'll take Group B, Korea and Ecuador and New Caledonia. That would be nice. Uruguay is out of the hat, and they can't go in Group B. They can't go in Group C. They can go in Group D, though. So Uruguay will be going into Group D. Uruguay. Big up, Mr. Yardi. We're there. All right, next name out. Come on. Well, pretty much we know Jamaica have to go in certain groups, So this is central. This is a CAF slot. So they'll drop into B4, CAF 1. They might be telling you on the screen who those teams could potentially be, but I'm not hearing it. So for the purpose of that, I will just say CAF 1 in that slot right now. Baba Yaro picks another one out. Jamaica. So it looks like Jamaica will fall into Group C with Argentina, Australia, and Denmark. So Jamaica into Group C. If what I think is correct, that would give us, oh wait, Jamaica can't go into Group C apparently. I don't know why. So Jamaica falls into Group E with Italy, Ivory Coast, and Uzbekistan. Interesting. Cuba. So I'm assuming Cuba can't go into Group C either if Jamaica couldn't go. So it must be Group H. Group F. Okay. Group F is Cuba. So Jamaica is in Group E, people. Italy, Ivory Coast, Uzbekistan will be our opponents in the U17 World Cup group stage. Romania is next. They can't go in Group C. Can't go in Group H. Can't go in Group I. But they can go into Group K. So they will be in Group K, Romania. All right, Group K is Romania, K4. Next name out is the second qualifier from the African playoff, and I think they can go into Group C. I'm almost certain. All right, so Group C does work there. C4, that will be CAF2. We'll do some research after this, tell you who those teams could be. Tanzania. So they should be able to go into Group H, right? I think. Group I. Oh, Morocco is in Group H. Do I say expected, tough, Group E? Bless up enough views. Up full. Fucking did it, my guy. So here's China, People's Republic of China. They should be able to go into Group J, I think. Or Group H, sorry. Group H. That's China. So Serbia and Algeria left. I think Algeria has to go into, well, they can go in either one. So let's see. But Serbia can't go there. So Algeria goes into Group J. And it couldn't be Serbia against Montenegro in that group anyway. So we know that Montenegro will land here. That right there is the full draw for the 2026 U17 FIFA World Cup. Jamaica. So what you guys think about the group? Let me know. Let me know what you guys think about the group. Let me know what you guys think about the group, people. The Jamaica in Group E have Italy, Ivory Coast, Jamaica, Uzbekistan. Should be an interesting one. Should be very, very interesting. Let me see if I think this should be already out. I soon get that back on the screen, people. So Issa wanted the group with Ecuador. Italy will be tough. We typically match up well. African nation don't know the next team is about. Grimy in a building, up full, my G. What go on? Jamaica, Italy, Ivory Coast, and Uzbekistan. Yes, that is it. Italy, I get whop up. 1-0 and at them. Only time will tell. Good luck to the boys, says Errol. Yeah, man. Not sure how to feel. Ivory Coast and Italy. Well, look, my style, we're gonna do the research, we're gonna see what kind of results they got in the qualifiers, try to get some footage of the teams, we're on the case scouting wise. So now that we know our opponents in this U17 World Cup, you know that we're gonna put in the work in terms of scouting, and we'll have comprehensive build up into this World Cup. And of course, if you don't know, the World Cup for the U17 will be coming up later this year. It's going to start in mid-November and run to about mid-December. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. We have now gotten the names of each team in each group, and yeah, they haven't updated it here as yet. I thought they might have done so, but they haven't done it as yet. Of course, with the 48 teams, there will be a round of 32. So 12 groups, you'll have the top two in each group automatically will qualify to the next round of 32. And then you'll have the 8 best third place teams. So Jamaica have some avenues and ways to get into that knockout phase. And once you get into that, anything is really possible in a one-half game. So, look, I think what Jamaica need to do is just be sure to do the best they can as far as preparation. It's kind of a weird time in the season, that November start date. We have the European leagues starting up a few months before, and you'll have, those playing in the United States format, or North American League format. They'll be pretty much ending off their seasons when this comes up. So that's something that to note, which players are affected by when this tournament starts. We do have quite a bit of local players as well. They'll be into their seasons with their clubs. Are they getting the requisite game time, to keep them sharp? All these things to be considered. And then, of course, in November, that is the height of the Manning Cup and all of that stuff. So how does that affect some of these U17 players? We don't know. So, a lot of things to look at and think about. And I think right now the best thing, or the main thing we have to do, is just start to do the research on the teams we're going to face. We'll have a pretty good idea of the players that we have. We're going to revisit all of that as well leading into the tournament, who was used in this competition that we already played. As a matter of fact, before we move on to the Unity Cup, what I want to do is get I want to get the starting lineup that we used, or the squad itself. So these were the players that we used. These are the players that we used in the last round. Let me upload the file. All right, so this was Canada v Jamaica. Let's see. Yeah, so this was Canada against Jamaica. Let me see if I can zoom this a little bit more. That's that's not really gonna help. You guys might have to zoom on your devices, but um I want it to be like the entire screen though. We'll work with that. So we have it here. Omario White, Jaden Morgan, Jason Edwards, Romy Henry, Jamon Lyle, Kelvin D. Brown, Jamari Nolan, Captain Kamoy Banton, Dwayne Berger, Raheem Kelly, and Javon Foster. So that was the starting lineup. Then on the bench, you had Kamal Mattox and Jaheim Gray, two goalkeepers. Bembridge, Jelani Bradshaw, Jaheim Bennett, Rajan McKenzie, Lucas Anderson, Justin Hales, Jude Royce, and Kai Williamson. So that was the 21 that we took to the qualifiers or the championship for the U17. And this was the starting lineup and the bench for the Canada game. Of course, Downswell, Antoine Butler, Carlton Simon, Everdeen Scarlett, a part of that technical staff that got us over the line and into this World Cup and into a group with Italy, Ivory Coast, and Uzbekistan. So that's where we stand now. But this was just a reminder of the team that we used to qualify. And it's going to be interesting, what the team looks like at the World Cup itself, how many of these players, continue and move on. But it's going to be something that we're going to have to hold or try to hold the JFF and the powers that be accountable as far as making sure this team is doing the most that it can to be prepared for this November start. So let's try to I'll do my due diligence and start to do some scouting, start to look at the teams we're going to play. And also I'm going to try to keep this in your psyche moving forward as Jamaica fans. Like, we need to make sure that, this team or whoever is going to be end up representing for this team, they are getting the adequate preparation. They are having the proper communication with the technical staff throughout whatever they're going through in their various footballing lives, basically. Keeping them on programs and things of that nature. I think all of those things are going to be very important as we work our way towards this World Cup that starts in November. Like I said, kind of a weird-ish time for some of our players. Most of these players would have played, Manning Cup, and it would be going on right around the time of this. And with them being national players, I'm pretty sure that their respective teams would be, relying on them to get some results in their league. So how will that affect the preparation, or in what way, right? We don't want to have a situation where preparation is needed to take place with the squad and coaches of institutions that is, are reluctant to, see the bigger picture and make sure that these boys are training and getting as much time together on the pitch as possible. It will be hectic. Yeah, I mean, look, Uzbekistan, if the last U20 is anything to go by, they were one of the better European teams. I think they got to the quarterfinals, I want to say. And I think their football is definitely improving. So, and they're not even European though. What confed are they? I think Uzbekistan should be Asia. Hold on. Yeah, Asian Cup. Yeah, Uzbekistan is Asia. So they were one of the higher finishing Asian teams, I should say, not European, at the last U20. They're a good team. I hate Jamaica football. 2023 and 2025 tournaments, and they played some good teams and had some good scores. Yeah. I remember them from the U20. I don't remember watching them at U17 level, to be fair. It should, but hey, these old boys associations are mad enough. Yeah, man, their football has been taking shape, pardon the pun. They just played Japan to 1-1. See? Japan ain't no joke, at the youth level, Big up, Jordan. Big up. No, man, they're not a slouch at all. As a matter of fact, show you guys. Uzbekistan U17. All right, so let me get this up real quick now. So this is Uzbekistan results recently. So they drew 1-1 with at the Asian Cup with Japan. Knockout stage, lost on penalties. They drew 2-2 with South Korea, beat them on penalties. They beat Australia in the group. They beat India in the group. Then you look at friendlies that they have played. They lost to China. There it is, last U17 World Cup, and this was knockout phase as well. Actually, I do remember this team. They lost this game 3-2. They beat Croatia the game before. And that was in the knockout. They won 2 out of their 3 group stage games. They crushed Panama 6-1. So Panama is not a team that Jamaica really kills at the U17 level when we play them. So for them to get a 6-1 beating there, that should tell you. And that was just last year. So, they are looking to be a team that is, up there in terms of the youth level. Beating Paraguay, beating Panama. They did lose to Ireland, but then they bounced back in the knockout, beating Croatia on penalties, and had a tough loss to Italy. I remember this game actually. I think Italy was down, or it was drawing, and then they scored 2 back-to-back. I remember that. And I got a red card in this game. The sub, came on, I got a red. Late in the game though. But yeah, Uzbekistan definitely stepping up them thing. And them have them biggest export now, making a name for the country. Kusanov playing for Man City. So yeah, their football is definitely on an upward trajectory for sure. Puns on a Thursday, bro. My bad. Yeah, Asian Confed. Chippy Bailey win a trophy. Yeah, he won a trophy. I'm sure he wishes he could have contributed more to it, but at the end of the day, he got a medal for sure. So I can't take that away from him. Berger and Nolan could be playing in both U17 and U20 World Cup. That's possible. With the recruits I see coming in for U20, though, I would be surprised if Dwayne Berger, is still there once some players come in. I think they've reevaluated some players too that are even playing locally. So let's see. I know that Austin really likes the player. Yeah, Chorus. So I had a huge convo about this yesterday, and this is a good segue into my next topic for the day. But before we move on totally from the U17, let me just go back to the let me just go back to the list one more time. So Group A, Qatar, Egypt, Panama, and Greece. Group B, Korea Republic, New Caledonia. CAF 1, so the playoff winner from CAF will join that group, and Ecuador, Argentina, CAF 2, Australia, Denmark, France, Saudi Arabia, Haiti, Uruguay in Group D. Group E, that's Jamaica's group with Italy, Ivory Coast, Jamaica, and Uzbekistan. Group F, Senegal, Cuba, Croatia, and Tajikistan. Group G, Mali, Belgium, New Zealand, Vietnam. Group H, Spain, Fiji, China, Morocco. Group I, Brazil, Tanzania, Ireland, and Costa Rica. Group J, USA, Chile, Montenegro, Algeria. Group K, Mexico, Cameroon, Romania, Venezuela. And Group L, Japan, Montenegro, Colombia, and Honduras. So those are the 12 groups for the U17 World Cup to be held in Qatar in November. So we'll definitely be keeping our tracks and checking in with that right throughout as we work our way towards that World Cup U17. All right, so let's get now into the next conversation we want to have. And Respect Markland. Don't think Leon will be at Villa next season. Neither do I still. Check a big part of the resurgence of Villa, even if it was that one season. That one season was massive. Hoping CONCACAF gets more than 3 teams in the round of 32. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. But like as I said, that's a good segue into the next topic, people, and that is the Unity Cup squad that was announced yesterday. Um, as I said, it was kind of like interestingly done without much fanfare. It was kind of dropped on the YouTube page. I mean, sorry, on the Instagram page. And yeah, I thought that was quite interesting how it just kind of dropped like that. But nothing wrong with that. Can still react to it as we always do. And that's what we're going to do right now. So let's get that on the screen. And we're just going to go through the names first. And we're going to go through the names first and just let people know. BAM Sports has dropped the group. Nice. All right, so let's get the JFF football on the screen. Pops can't answer that right now. Let me see what I'm going. Hold on, people. Let me take this call. Can't cap a 16-year-old, John. I'm mute like a idiot. Yeah, I never really say nothing still. I just did I say big ups for this comment, you know. So I'm gonna show the jersey. A big up Pastor. Need to get Kalen capped as soon as Unity Cup, and then I think Rob say can't cap a 16-year-old. But why? Why can't you? If you cap him, if you're playing more than 3 times at a senior official game, him not cap. Hurt me to my soul, but congrats, Gooner. Hopefully PSG does not disappoint. Go on up. You know, don't make a win that. I can tell you, don't make a win that game there. Problem. I will say as soon as you can cap him, cap him. All right, so let me get on the screen the full listing, the full squad that was named or called. So this is Kimo head of this, so that just going to stay there forever. So that can't move. Okay, good. Yeah, thank you. All right, so this is the Unity Cup squad 2026. So as you can see, we have Joshua Grant, Naples, playing in USL League One. Finally got his first start in the league, you know. I said people never even know. No, it's the amount of times you play. It's the amount of times you play. So if you're under a certain age and you still play a certain amount of games, you are captain. I thought. But it has to be official matches, yes. Can he even play for our U17? Didn't he already play for Scotland or England at that level? Don't really know the rules. Okay, so from what I understand of, because I had a long conversation about this with some people yesterday, his availability if we want him to play at this World Cup for Jamaica, right? So from what I read and what I understand of what I read, the only way that he'd be able to play for the Jamaica U17 in the same cycle is if when he played the games that he played for Scotland in qualifiers, he already held citizenship from the country that he wants to switch to. So that would be something that his people would have to know, or JFF would have to find out if we're going to try to get him to play with us for the U17 World Cup, right? Because he did represent Scotland in the European U17 Championship, which is the qualifiers for Europe. And that would have been trying to qualify for the same World Cup. So that was my main thing. Like, I know you can switch at youth level as many times as you want, but is there any restriction on switching within the same competition, right? And I think the one thing that I was able to find is that one of the things that help you to be able to, or not help you, but one of the things that they require if you're going to switch, especially within the same tournament cycle, right, is that you would have had the citizenship of the country you're switching to at the time of your first appearance for the country you're switching from. And I don't know definitively if that would have been the case with him if he had citizenship at the time, right? Obviously, with him being selected for this Unity Cup squad, that would lead me to believe that he has everything that he would need now, because we did find out that at this tournament, they were going to have a situation where there wouldn't be a mother seal situation again, where it was said that he only had a citizenship at the time of playing for us. And they spoke to the competition organizers, the opponents, and they were okay with mother seal playing. Now, apparently this year, you don't have apparently this year you don't have that ability. They've decided not to have that. They wanted to register as official games on the record. So for that reason, I think they're gonna limit the subs to 6, and they're also going to enforce the regular rules as it pertains to passport holders being able to play for the country, right? I'm okay with the group. Rise Up Jamaica, U20, the pride of Jamaica, in football. Get some positive results. Well, David J, this is actually the U17 World Cup, but points still taken. You know what I mean? Grant have really grown tall. I remember him from U17, kids growing like a grown man. Yeah, man. Some starting to look like a real man now, If Duckland was here, I'm sure that would have get a why, but he's not here. Maybe he's here watching silently, but I doubt it. You no longer can switch as many times as you want. You get 2 switches. Okay, so you get 2 switches. Well, he has played for England at U16. He's played for Scotland at U17. So I guess he's gone 1 switch already. He would have to file a switch to be eligible to play at the U17 World Cup, but he needs a citizenship. Yeah, I thought he needed it when he played for Scotland as well. That's the thing that I thought, because that's one of the things that they look at. But yeah, Joshua Grant, Canary Boys Clark, Tafari Chambers, defenders. Damian Lowe, Joel Latibodier, Giovanni Leng, Odin Samuel Smith, Ronaldo Webster, Christopher Ainsworth, Dexter Lembikisa, Marlon Van de Veteran. Midfielders, Isaac Hayden, Courtney Clark, Nikhil Ellis, Dwight Merrick, Brandon Kova, Tyrese Hall. Forwards, Bailey Ty Karamatri, Kalen Cole Karamatri, Dejan Brown, Nick Simmons, Kaheem Dixon, Nikolai Fuller, and Raheem Edwards. So that is the squad for the Unity Cup. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So we have a 24-man squad for the Unity Cup. I have some questions for the JFF. I know sometimes you guys have people watching these shows. When is the team due to leave to go to the Unity Cup? The staff and those leaving from Jamaica, obviously. And then, I guess Nick would have to probably travel to Jamaica, then to England, I would think. Who else is in America? Joshua. So yeah, what day do they plan on leaving? The first game is on the 27th. I know the JPL final is on the 24th. So when are they planning to leave? Are they planning to leave on the Monday, or will the technical staff be leaving earlier than that? That's one thing that I definitely want to find out. Yeah, man. We address it, man. We have to. FIFA and Scottish FA would have to approve it first. Well, based on what I read again, and I'm gonna keep on digging. I think the best thing to do for me at this point is to try to reach out to the CONCACAF people. Because I do know that they have references for people wanting to get information about switches and things of that nature. So I need to talk to someone about this specific situation, because I think when you're asking, chat GPT or whatever AI that you might use to get information, it's the situation is so, I don't know if it's one of a kind, but it's like that there's that caveat of him playing for the Scotland U17 in qualifiers, right? Or the championship there. And I think that has something, I think that throws a little wrench in what we'd want to do in terms of switch. But again, the thing that I think might get us out as well is that whole having the citizenship from the country you're going to switch to when you play your first game for the one you're switching from, and I don't know if that would have been the case for him, because I'll show you guys on screen, but based on my research, he would have been playing since last year. And I don't know if that's when the citizenship would have come to. Remember, we can kind of trace it to Bailey's time. So Bailey would have had everything done and ready to go for a little while now. And from what I understand, when Bailey got his citizenship, the younger brother would have gotten it at the same time. Now, the passport situation would have been different because something would have gone wrong, I think, with Kalen, so it took longer. But I would think that the citizenship part happened around the same time. So based on that timeline, it's possible that he would have been a citizen of Jamaica when he made his first appearance for the Scotland U17 team. It's possible. But we'll try to get all the info. We know people that know the player. We know people that the one link that I'm still trying to get for myself is the CONCACAF person that would be the contact to talk to about things like this, switches and the youth level switching of players from different nations to play for a CONCACAF team, what's required. I would love to have a sit down with somebody or even a conversation with somebody that deals with that. Is Odin Samuel on loan in Australia from Everton? My research keeps saying he plays for Marine in the Australia League. That's gonna be something that we're gonna do now, Rob Smith. I'm gonna go through and just show all the players on the screen, but that is the squad of players. And like I said, the next thing now is to do what we always do here, and that is just look up who these players are, what they're doing. So Joshua Grant, we saw him recently playing in the qualifying stage of the U20. Did well there. And he's now a professional playing for FC Naples in USL League One. I think he had a game last night, if I'm not mistaken, winning on penalties. And it looks like he was subbed on for the penalty shootout because he only played 13 minutes and they only scored one penalty. So, he did have some heroics earlier in the season in the cup. And looks like he, because of that, now has become what you would call now the penalty, the guy who's going to be tasked with stopping penalties, right? So the thing about Joshua Grant, the upside is there. It's clear to see. He's only 18. He's already in a professional setup. He has not been able to wrestle away the starting berth at his club yet. But the signs are there that they rate him. He was playing. He got a chance to play. Got a chance to play. He came on in a cup match before as well, just to get some minutes. And what he's doing now is, let me just get this on the screen for you guys. All right, so we have Joshua Grant. He's at FC Naples, like I said, USL League One. One appearance so far this season, 90 minutes in that game. And this game would have been the most recent game they had as well. If you look at his matches for the season, it was this 90-minute appearance. They lost 2-0, but it was his first start. May the 13th just happened, and then he came on, like I said, in the game yesterday. Delgado went out injured, and Delgado is the guy who has been playing in the league, I want to say. So yeah, Delgado has been playing in the league. Didn't play the last league game, came back to play this cup match and had to come off of the pitch injured. So right now he's next up in line, so he should be getting some more game time. They have matches right throughout the summer. So it's kind of interesting. I wonder with what's going on at the club right now with Delgado picking up an injury, him starting the last league game. Is the timing of this the best for his club career? Probably not. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Will Joshua Grant be at this tournament? That's my question, right? Because his club kind of is in a little spot right now. It looks like he's kind of gotten that nod to start as the next one up, because Delgado is injured. So does that affect his appearances in this Unity Cup? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But with Jamaica, when squads are dropped, you have to kind of, just keep on looking at what the players are doing, because sometimes what you see on the first paper is not what you see in the tournament. But hopefully Joshua Grant can come. I mean, when I look at these three goalkeepers selected, I think him and Kanaya Boyce Clark would be the ones probably fighting it out. I mean, Tafari Chambers has started for Jamaica before, but if his performance in the semi-final was anything to go by, he's not looking that good right now, to be honest. Didn't look that impressive to me when he's gotten his chance with Jamaica. So yeah, I think he's still kind of getting there, learning his craft some more. And I think Kanaya Boyce Clark, even though he's in the national, before I start talking about him, let me just put on the screen what he's been up to. So Kanaya Boyce Clark played last season for Aldershot Town in the National League. He made 24 appearances. So it's good to see that he was kind of getting his career back on track in terms of game time. Obviously formerly of Reading, but it's good to see that he's back playing again. I think Boyce Clark definitely will probably be getting some suitors in out of the non-league area, right? I think I could see him getting a chance, League Two, League One type of situation. But I think the Unity Cup will be good. It'll be good exposure for him. I think he comes into this at 23 years of age, had a setback in his career with how his time at Reading ended. But I think the talent is definitely there to see. When you see him playing for us at the U20 level, I think from then, most of us knew and could see that he's going to be a gem. Kind of thought, to be honest, just being honest, I thought that he would be able to kind of push on more from those times, but it's been tough. It's been tough. Yeah, the coach have to play final. I don't know. Let's get whisper question out the way. I like the team, a lot of youth. Know that this campaign is a wrap. So Charles, them like the direction of the youth. Cavaliers have that model, and maybe Speed is putting his imprint on this Reggae Boyz team. No, Russell get a new club. Yeah, Russell has made his loan move to Mansfield permanent, basically. So he'll be staying where he ended off the season from January to now. Yeah, the loan club. Yep. Real question is, how come we didn't have him on the youth U17 squad from the jump? Yeah, Charles Brahma, that's something that I wondered as well. And something that I didn't like about the whole situation is, and I don't know this to be factual because I didn't hear it from any of the Catamarters themselves. I didn't hear it from his agent, his anybody that's kind of representing him like in his close circle. But people that would have had correspondence with the circle said that their mindset as far as Jamaica was concerned was more on the youth, the U20 team, or even the senior team. And the thing that I didn't like about hearing those comments is when you do research on the player, you see that he did play very recently for Scotland's under 17, a competition that we would have qualified for, even at the time of him playing for them. I just don't understand why you'd be overlooking playing U17 for Jamaica, who has qualified and is going to be playing in the World Cup, to try to qualify another nation to that same tournament if you really want to play for Jamaica, right? I don't understand that one. I don't understand it. But like I said, this is something, the whole thing about him not looking at the U17 for Jamaica and really focusing more on an older age is something that I heard, right? I did not speak to the player themselves. So a part of me don't even want to hold them to that. But if what I heard is how it go, then I would love to understand the thought process behind, going to help out Scotland to qualify. Where say can't trust GPT on it. Non-league team in the north of England. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, Everton. Everton is his parent club. Rob said because he was playing for Scotland, as I never played for us. Simple clearance from Kangaroo will protect the player and us. Yeah, I want to talk to the source for sure. Kalen has a thunder of a right foot. Take squad with a grain of salt. I still can't believe they chose Chambers over Davis. Boy, the two of them, it looked like the two of them don't make one no Marlon, man, to be honest. Because Davis at last Unity Cup was horrible. It just looked above him, And Chambers yesterday looked horrible. And parts of this season him look horrible. Never heard of Grant. Yeah, so Grant just kept for us in the U20 that just play. And kept for us at U17 and the U20 before. So yeah, he's been around the Jamaica setup for sure. Yeah, nobody knows. That's a good question, Corey. Let me see how him answer that. We say like the average age of the team. All right. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna look at all of them now. So we have an 18-year-old and a 23-year-old. That's Kanaya Boys Clark. Very, very interested to see what happens to him in this summer window. I just need him to get back to league football. I'll even take a League Two right now, to be honest. I just want him in a setup playing professionally. And I think he'll work his way back up. Then we have Tafari Chambers. Tafari Chambers is the third selected. Again, I'm trying to figure out when these players are going to leave because he has a third place match on the Sunday. Maybe Tapa will go ahead and ship him away after that performance and say, go with Jamaica. We'll play Davis in this game. But he's 25, so he's the oldest of the three goalkeepers playing his trade at Mount Pleasant in the JPL. So Curtis does not believe it. Thinks Bailey is nothing to go so with Kalen having the higher upside. Goalkeepers have a chance to get game time and limited chances. Glad Kanaya finding his feet. As keepers, you need game time. Level not so important early on. Yeah. Well, the early on, he's 23 now. So I just don't want him to be 25, 26 still in non-league. You know what I mean? I think this summer and this kind of next year or two is crucial for him. Hopefully he can get it all together. Because I'm rooting for him, man. I think he has quality. I think he's good enough to be a championship keeper right now. But he just needs that opportunity. Yeah, he was bad. He was bad. Yeah, man, figure out that he does say. Autocorrect is a BI. Yeah, I'm surprised. I had one, don't remember the kid. Maybe the Cats Bros probably wants to do youth in a real structure academy, then play senior here. Perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. I agree. JPL is speed level, and that's where he should stay and leave professional football alone, and national team would be great. Maybe he thought Scotland had a better shot. We don't know. Maybe. But again, I'm not really talking about going to play for Scotland, period. I'm saying at the age that he played for them at, I'm just surprised because it he not he, but the word was that he would be looking at Jamaica at U20, which is another youth setup, or senior, not necessarily at the U17. And I just don't understand why you'd have that stance with Jamaica, but with Scotland, I see you playing for the U17, which is the team I think you can help us the most right now, personally. Because, I mean, that's your level. That's where you are. You're playing U16 still sometimes this season. So it is what it is. I think you play U18 as well. Okay, so I had one say she don't follow the youth teams as much. So that's why these shows important, because the youth team really don't get no love. And see me move on to the Reggae Boyz already. So I really should have spent more time, but it's all right. We're going to have a lot of education sessions moving forward. So Damian Lowe made the move to Diwa, and he'll be coming back to represent Jamaica again at this Unity Cup this season. Made 10 starts since he's been there, playing all the games so far that he's played. And that's pretty much all he's done this season, those 10 games, plus his time with Jamaica. But Damian Lowe, 33 years of age, now could see him definitely being the captain in this Unity Cup setup this go around. But he is there as a experienced head. And I think the coach will probably use him as well in that defense. So Damian Lowe still around, and probably deservedly, for a setup like this. You can't go with all youth. You have to have some kind of experience in the mix, and Lowe will definitely provide that. So Damian Lowe. Damian Lowe. Next up, we have Joel Latibodere. We know Latibodere had a up and down season with the club, but overall accomplishment wise, it was a good season for him, winning the championship, getting promotion to the Premier League. He did have a stretch in the start of the season where he was out, and then when he came back, had to wait his time to get back into the team, but had a good run of games in that, I'd say February through to about the end of the season period. I saw his performances take a uptick as well. But then got more in and out of the team as they got on towards the end of the season. So it was an interesting season for him. At the end of the day, got over 1,000 minutes with the club, 15 starts in his 15 appearances. So when he does play, tended to start the game. And overall, I think he made 16 appearances in the season, playing one FA Cup match, plus his exploits for the Jamaican national team. So he'll be in that team. And I think this makes sense. Latibodir is a younger player. He's up to 26 now, which kind of surprised. I didn't realize he's that old now, but 26 years of age. And I think he's one that, definitely has a lot of leadership quality. And I think he's, kind of integrated himself really well into the team. So Latibodir will be there at this Unity Cup. Then we have Giovanni Leng. So Giovanni Leng, Cavalier, 25 years of age, 26 the end of this year. He's in another JPL final. Again, when will the team be leaving Jamaica? We don't know. But Giovanni Leng in the team. Surprisingly, well, I won't say surprisingly, but King definitely was the one that was getting a lot of the plaudits when they were playing together. I've always thought that Leng was kind of underappreciated. King does have a bit better range of pass and things of that nature. But I think Leng defensively is very, very solid. And he's definitely peaking at the right time. Didn't have the greatest of seasons throughout the whole season, but definitely peaking at the right time. So Giovanni Leng is in the squad. Let's see if he gets any opportunity to play. Then we have Odin Samuel Smith. So Odin Samuel Smith is on loan at Marine. And Marine AFC plays in the National League North. So that's where he played his football this season in the National League North. And this was his stats for the year. 12 starts on the season. Just over 1,000 minutes. I don't know. Did he play anything else? I don't think so. But he hasn't kicked a ball in anger since the last time the man played. So April 17th, he got a full 90. And that was... So when did he get loaned back? So wait, when did he play for this other Marine team? Okay. So his loan must have ended in December then. Yes, it looks like December 30, his loan was up. And then January, he was back with Everton playing. I think he was playing PL2. Yeah, so he made 17 appearances, 12 starts in PL2. So that's where he's recently been playing. Last game was April 17th. So he's been out of action competitively, like matches, for a little while now. But he is back from his loan at Marine, back at Everton. He was playing for the U21s in Premier League 2, playing as a centre back. So can play left back, can play centre back, only 19 years of age. Definitely everything ahead of him so far, basically in his career. So another youngster. So we have another 19-year-old in the mix, Odin Samuel Smith. I know he was one of those players. I know that last name, he has a brother as well in the Chelsea system, Ish. I think he left Chelsea though. I think Ish is now playing. Yeah, he left and went to Swansea. I don't think this was a loan. Oh no, it is a loan. So he'll return to what name there? He'll return to Chelsea. Actually, no, he got sold to Strasbourg. So yo, Chelsea is weird, man. Them sell a U21 baller to Strasbourg, loan him out. I don't know, bro. But this season, this is what Ish did in the champ. Just made 6 appearances, so not the greatest start to life over there. That was last season Football League Trophy. Last season, He playing the EFL Cup. He started 2 games in the Cup. Like he played left back in those games. Yeah, so U21 is Samuel Smith. Did make 6 appearances in the champ this past season as well. That's Ish. But the player that we called is Odin. And Odin, as I said before, Odin made 12 appearances in the National League. And 17 more appearances at PL2. So that's Odin. That's Odin Samuel Smith. Ronaldo Webster, we know Ronaldo Webster. Oh man, them forward for the yard at muffin time for go crazy, All right, so I have Ronaldo Webster here had a good season in the Conference League, making team of the group of the league phase and everything. A very good season there. Starting all the games, playing all the minutes, couple of crucial assists as well. I don't think they have the league breakdown of stats, but we know that he's a perennial starter for the team, right? Like I said, SofaScore not giving me the info on the weight name there. Give them a bit for this. Muffin Bill, no man. Me. All right, flash score work with something. Or it's like the direction the team going. If he's that good and cannot play your U17, can they add him to the U20 to help qualify? Yeah, I would be trying to add him personally to the U17, but if that's not allowed because he play with Scotland, then I would move up to the next one and say, yeah, can you come play with the U20 in the June games before this July final round and see how you look, how you fit in. I can understand the idea as it would be a lateral move versus looking at U20 as a step up. They have no number one at Mount Pleasant. Tapa switching keepers in between legs was madness. I had one is a lady, you know what I mean? But I understand thinking everybody's a guy. Local players leaving Monday morning according to source. Okay, so and does that include the coach? Both RBs are ages 18 and 22, pretty decent age for rebuilding. Yep. That would be yeah, those 2 players would be Dexter and Marlon. So Marlon being 18 and Dexter 22. All right, so Ronaldo Webster still over there. I think he'll be wanting to maybe get a move out of Macedonia this year, but let's see if he can get that move or not. All right. So that's Ronaldo Webster. Definitely makes sense to pick him. Now, Christopher Ainsworth has been playing much more attacking this season for Cavalier. In fact, he was playing in the front 3 yesterday, or wide midfielder role, you could say. But he's selected here as a defender, so I'm thinking he'll be vying for the left back spot with Ronaldo Webster. Ainsworth is now 20 years of age, but feels like he should be about 30 based on how long he's been playing in the Premier League. But yeah, he's had a decent season, and his move into a more attacking role shows that he can score goals as well. I think he's leading the team in goal scoring this year. So Christopher Ainsworth, as I said, picked as a left back, skill set of a more attacking player. So it's going to be interesting to see, how he develops in terms of if he gets a move out of Cavalier, where other coaches see him being most effective. That's something that I'll be looking to look at and see. Dexter Lembekisa, definitely, if I could, I would tell Wolves to just free the young man at this point. He's basically been playing youth football this season again. Um, when you look at what he's done this season, he's made 16 appearances, but all at the PL2 level, has not played a senior minute for the club. Did play a couple of trophy games this season. And remember, was on loan for the first part of the season, but only made 3 appearances in that loan spell. So it has not been the greatest of times this season. I was at Lincoln City, at loan to Barnley last year. So he's just been getting loaned out constantly. And then after this January transfer window closed and he was still at Wolves, I just couldn't believe it. At 22 now, no plans really for the young man. I don't see, at least. And they are, he's 22 years of age and just kind of wasting years at this point. So, hopefully this Unity Cup, eyes can see him, they can know that his situation ain't the best at Wolves, and he can get a move because he needs to be playing. And we see the difference when he plays for us, when he's playing football regularly, what kind of performance he gives you. And, with him not playing any football, he just couldn't even get selected for the playoffs, which a year ago, people would probably think you're crazy if you told them that we'd have 2 playoff matches to play and Dexter Lembekisa is not even in the squad. I don't think anybody would really agree. So this is Marlon van der Veteran. If you don't know, he was one of the right backs at our U20 qualifiers the other day. He plays for FC Eindhoven, which is in the Eerste Divisie, which is the 2nd division in the Netherlands. And yeah, he's versatile, can play right wing, right midfield, right back, can also play right center back as well, as we saw for a few minutes really at the U20 competition the other day. But I think his best position would be as a right back. Extremely technical player, very good speed for his age, very strong. So yeah, I think he's made quite a few appearances this year in the rest of the division, 18 to be exact, with 5 starts. Had a little spell where he was playing like all the minutes, and then really and truly, I hate to say it, when he came to play for Jamaica in that qualifying tournament, that's kind of when his regular minutes took a little dip. So he's had some appearances where he hasn't gotten off the bench, had to come off of the bench more in games, but good sign to end off the season in a win, played 80 minutes and started. And I think, at 18, he's only going to go from strength to strength. But I like the fact that a player, him and Joshua, 2 U20 players, are getting a chance here. And I think that Marlon is somebody that, to be honest, when you look at the right back pool of Jamaica currently, yes, there's a lot of them, but for whatever reason, the coach currently doesn't like these players very much. The ones that are in the pool, So Marlon could have an opportunity to put his hands up if he gets a chance to get some meaningful time in this Unity Cup. So let's see how that plays out. But Marlon van der Veteran, very, very good player. I think was a great find. Whoever did the recruitment for him, kudos to you, because I think we found a really good player there. And just it's a nice to have a change up. Nothing against the English, developed and Jamaican heritage players, but it was refreshing to see a Dutch developed player playing for Jamaica. It was nice. I like that. Dutch is my team, so my thoughts on that already. We say I learn. All right, big up. Does Gennaro have papers? To my knowledge, yes. Jason, any news on Korea die over 3 years now? We're working on his paper. What could be the hold up? He really wanted to play for Jamaica, good keeper. Yeah, I think there's some issues with documentation. Just can't secure documents that he need. that he would need. Jean-Pierre always seemed like a sensible, measured youth. Can't understand him advocating for Shaquan Davis on this level. No real baller. I didn't necessarily say Davis should be in the first team, but if you're looking for a Mount Pleasant keeper, Davis made more sense. He got better as the season went on. Started in the semi-final and will be playing in the final for promotion. Who was Meeks talking about? Oh, Corey didn't have a great season. Okay. Yeah, he's peaking at the right time though. Animal Farm, Jason. Some country you'd set up more equal than us. Chase start playing for us yet. Nah, he hasn't. Latty's on the bench right now. Will he be available? LOL. Oh, he's on the beach right now. Oh. I think so. If he's on the beach now, I think he would be available. I'm not thinking plan to stay on the beach for the whole summer. Yes, Damian Lowe has traveled a lot in his career. Nepabala is consistently himself. No issues with him there. They need to give the captain armband to Lati. He was England captain at U17 in that World Cup. Have to plan for next World Cup. Lowe and Blake won't be around. Well, let's see if they think that way or they're Lowe. I happen to think they're still gonna give the armband to Lowe. But let's see. Lati played quite a few key matches. Look it up. Yo, stay there, follow Rob. Rob not like Rob a joker. Yeah, he wasn't talking about game time. He was talking about like him being on the beach right now, vacationing for real. Lang has been excellent the last 10 matches. Yeah, he was having a poor start to the season, making mistakes in the early part of the season, but him really peaking at the right time. How Stewart and Paris not get picked? Them not exist again. Why? J. Ross, I tell you, the Bermuda Triangle of Jamaica players is any player we get transferred out of JPL in the last 3-4 years. Them Monday, it's like so difficult for them to get back in the team. I'm surprised Webster getting called up again. Because he would have fallen in that same boat. I want to see Fuller play on a good pitch. This is an opportunity to show what he's got. Yeah, Nikolai Fuller. The big question is, should the head coach of the national team be in England working with the players until the JPL players arrive? Or will he be in Jamaica for the finals? That's what I want to know, Tuffy Rudy, because I'm sure, all right, like, for example, if it's the same coaching staff as last time, I would think Michael Dennison could have them in training, even Coley for that matter, because why would he be in Jamaica leading up? Unless him just want to go to the finals too, know. But yeah, I mean, you could have a contingent there, just kind of going through the paces, making sure they're sharpening back up. Most players plan their vacay before the end of the season. That's normal. But no. Yes, a Kadamacha drink Grey Goose. Would have liked to see Ephraim again, but I guess the trial is over. Also, whatever happened to Mother Sill? Does he not have his papers? He had a lot of hype, but we never seen him again. Yeah, I think Mother Sill didn't really kick on that much this season, to be honest. That could play a factor in it, but I don't know exactly why. And I don't know. I think he should have his passport because I know he had his citizenship up the last year. That's how he got to play in the Unity Cup in the first place. There are a lot of mixed things being said about whether he had the passport, whether he didn't have the passport. Isaac Hayden, we know he's no longer at QPR. They have severed ties there. But he had a season that looked like this, 29 appearances, 15 starts. Of course, he made quite a few appearances for Jamaica within that season as well. But he's back in the mix. He's 31 now. So, extrapolating out 4 years, he'll be 35 by the time the next World Cup rolls around. I guess not impossible. And I think when you factor in the position he plays, being probably the lightest position of all the positions that we have in terms of player pool, I think we have to not rush to throw away Isaac Hayden anytime soon. That's just my take on that. Courtney Clark, 23 years of age, plays midfield as well. More of like a box-to-box type of midfielder. Did not get a chance to watch any full matches of the player, but of course, since the squad was dropped, I was doing my best to try to find clips at least. and looks to be a dynamic player. Good age on him, just 23 years of age. You know, has had to bounce around from team to team so far in his career, but did make the move to League Two, which is a big jump for him. And he represented himself pretty well throughout the season. Made a lot of appearances, for starting 15 of those games. So at the times he was used as an impact player from the substitutes bench. But yeah, I think he's a player that it definitely was outside the box for me. I wouldn't lie to you and say that it's a player that's been on my radar. A couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks or so, I got started to hear his name mentioned, so I figured there was a chance. So I've been trying to find out more about him. But I'll continue to do some digging and looking. But Courtney Clark, again, a player that people might be upset with the level of the league he plays and whatnot. But again, in that midfield area, I just tend to think that we need to just not hold our, push up our nose at any players that play midfield. I just don't think we have this large pool of midfielders that I would be comfortable with, right? Nikhil Ellis coming in from Racing, they had a disappointing end to their season with the playoff loss, but he will be back in the fold. He did play under Speid in the 2 friendlies prior to the playoffs, did also make the squad that went to Mexico for those games, never made the bench or got a chance to play. But I would think at the Unity Cup, he would be one of the ones that the coach will be given a chance to for sure. So Nikhil Ellis, number 10 position, typically can play a little bit deeper in the midfield too if you want to use him as an 8. My thing is off the ball work. Let's see how he looks at the international level with that, because sometimes I think at the club level, that's what I see needs the most work from his game, right? So let's see how that looks in the international level. Sometimes I don't know what we're trying to achieve. What picture? Oh, yo, hold on. Let me see which picture I talk about. This right here. Yo, I don't have anything to do with the pictures chosen for this thing, all right? Yeah, man, rough season for him, man. I think the U17 team can get out of the group and move to the knockout round. All right, Yard Flex. Well, we all hope that is the case, we'll have to see it. Dexter trial at Charlton unsuccessfully. Yeah, the talk was that they liked him, but they didn't want to go in that direction at the time. But entire year they liked him, but yeah, I don't think they liked him then. Hopefully, since Wolves are going to the championship, he'll be in their plans. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they didn't think Dexter could help them stay up. Would they include him when they want to fight to go back up? Good question. Well, going down, they will lose a lot of their prem players, so they would be inclined to use players already in their books. Just a thought. Oh, financial over tactical. I've been saying we need to look outside of USA and England, go out of Europe and Asia and Oceania. Yeah, that it should be captain now. For me, Lowe should never be in this team. Yeah, well, he is. So with him being there, I think he might be. But let's see though. You never know. Might throw a curveball. It's just like youth clubs. It might get Isaac Hayden. It's just like youth clubs. Everyone think they're better and want to play up instead of just dominate your age range. Yeah, just play your age, man. That's one that I don't understand. He can't get a look, man. He did well this season. Paris, though. Paris is the big one. Like, the man win at league and cup double. A big performer and contributor for them. I think he played 29 games in the league. 7 goals, 7 assists, 14 goal contribution. I mean, he had a really good season, and he's played for Jamaica before. He's not that old. Still has age to continue to play for us. The next midfielder on the list, another one that returns from the actual playoff squad that was put out. Didn't get a chance to play in the playoffs, but did make the bench in one of the games. That is Dwight Merrick. Dwight Merrick had the disappointment of losing in the semifinals last night to Cavalier, but he himself has had a really good season. It must be said. He has done really well. So yeah, he got quite a bit of games. Represented Jamaica a few times. So yeah, he's had a memorable season. The former Mount Pleasant man, 23 years of age, so still has a bit of time to get some more progression in his game. Looks to be a versatile midfielder as well. Spent a lot of that second half yesterday, especially playing the deepest line role in the midfield for Mobe. So looks comfortable anywhere, 6, 8, or 10. Interested to see at the international level what would be his best role. You guys let me know. I think maybe a 6/8 would probably be the best role for him. But what do you guys think? He had a lot of time at 10 and was very productive earlier in the season. Saw his numbers kind of fall a bit due to, I think they kind of kept moving him deeper into that midfield. So interested to see what you guys think is his best position in that midfield, whether it's more attacking or more in a defensive role. But that's Dwight Merrick also making the midfield list. Then we have Brandon Cover. So Brandon Cover is a player that was in the Unity Cup squad last year, but did not get a chance to play. He's now permanently at Rotherham, left Leicester, unknown fee in February. And basically this season at Rotherham, he was able to make 10 appearances and start 5 of the games. His last appearance came back on April the 14th. So he's been out of football for a little bit. Did make the bench on the final day, but didn't get a game. So yeah, Brandon Cover has been playing right back predominantly at club level, but for Jamaica, we've seen him play midfield as well. And he's listed here as a midfielder. So gonna get a chance to see him play some in the midfield. Another one that at 22 years of age now, I think he needs to kick on for sure and start to really get more game time. But it hasn't been the case for him. Then Tyrese Hall is the next player, people. Tyrese Hall, he's a player that was at the playoffs, did make an appearance in that Congo match off the bench. And had a very, very good start to life at Notts County, where he's on loan in League Two from Tottenham, but recently has kind of had a bit of a tougher time getting game time. So he played the last game of the season off the bench, but in the 2 playoff matches so far, he did not get a chance. In League Two, these are his stats. He's made 34 appearances, 16 starts, did make the team of the week once, had 7 goals and 1 assist, not bad. Did play mainly attacking number 10 kind of attacking midfielder role for Notts County, but can also play a number 8 role, which he did for Jamaica in that match against Congo. But yeah, Tyrese Hall definitely one that is very, very, very highly talked about in the Tottenham Academy or the Tottenham Youth setup. So when he comes back from loan, depending on what happens, I am rooting for West Ham to go up or stay up, and for Tottenham to go down. I think that will help Tyrese Hall to get game time at Tottenham, right? So if they're in the championship, they're going to have to cut some of that payroll, try to get some money in from transfers. And I feel like that could help out Tyrese Hall to actually get a chance with Tottenham. So let's see. They have the playoff final, Notts County. Let's see if he gets a chance to play in that at all. Like I said, he did not play in the first leg, and I don't think he was even on the bench for that second leg. So yeah, this is Tyrese Hall, and that's what he's got going on going into this tournament. Not had a great start to life at Notts County, kind of tapering off now. And we have Bailey Kadamatri. So Bailey Kadamatri made a move this year, big money move to Wrexham. Left Sheffield Wednesday that were in turmoil. Went for 1.5 million euros or 1.2 million euros, sorry, to Wrexham. But life at Wrexham has not proven to be that fruitful. Overall, he made 32 appearances, 23 starts, in the championship this year. 2 goals and no assists though, so not able to score as many goals as we would like. But I think the biggest thing for me is since he made that move over from Sheffield Wednesday, which I think happened right after this Wrexham game. Yeah, so made the move end of Jan, beginning of February, didn't play for Wrexham until the 10th of March. And to end off the season, he didn't make an appearance for Wrexham in the league since March the 17th. So, we were excited for him to make this move. At the time, Wrexham was kind of in the playoff spots, looking like they could have a chance to get that promotion. In the end, that didn't happen. I think they finished just outside that top 6. And to be honest, Bailey Cadamartri did not feature, I'm sure, nearly as much as he would have liked to end off the season. So the bulk of those appearances were at his previous club, Sheffield Wednesday. I think he only made about 3 appearances for Wrexham in the league to end off the season. So not the greatest end to the season, to be honest. Now for the next player that's on the list, I'm going to have to pull it up somewhere else because I think I will get more information on this site about it. All right, so we have Kaelin Cadamartri, so the little brother of Bailey Cadamartri. So Kaelin, I'm going to show you guys real quick a graphic of what he's been up to. First and foremost, remember to smash that like button, people. We're trying to give you some background information, a little bit of knowledge on the players selected for the Unity Cup. We've already brought down not brought down, but we've had a live reaction to the group stage being picked for the U17 World Cup. Jamaica, again, as a reminder, in the group with Italy, Ivory Coast, and Uzbekistan for that tournament that starts in November. So this is Kaelin Cole Cadamartri, and he has represented 2 nations at the youth level so far. Well, he didn't come off the bench in an England U16 friendly, but starting in October of 2025, he did start the journey in the European Championship trying to qualify Scotland. And interestingly enough, he did face England in that championship, beating them 1-0. And England actually did not make this U17, so neither did Scotland at the end of the day. But yeah, Cadamartri did his thing, 5 goals in 6 appearances in those championships, and yeah, he definitely played really well. But his first appearance would have been October 28th, 2025. So if he had his citizenship for Jamaica at that time, I think that there is a chance still, based on what I've heard, that he could play for us at the U17 World Cup. But again, that's not really what this is about right now. Right now, this man is going to be playing for Jamaica's senior team potentially at the Unity Cup. Now, at 16 years of age, his season for Man City just made a move, one of the biggest money moves for this age. It was a 1.5 million move from Sheffield Wednesday to Man City. And basically, this season, I think they said that he had 47 goal and assist contributions in his first season at City between the U16 and the U19 teams. 35 goals and 12 assists, something like that. So prolific at the youth level, at academy level. How does that translate to big man football right now? Well, we're going to find out. But I can assure you of this. If Man City is paying over $1 million for a player that they're not even planning on using right now, he's just in the academy, clearly this youth has some tremendous upside, because Man City, you see the type of talent that Man City have, and you see the type of talent that they have to work with. If they're valuing a player like this so highly, so early, before he's even done anything in football, then that must mean something to people. I guess you can always buy somebody and then flop, but at the end of the day, they're working with this off what they have seen. And he's highly sought after. He was called up by England, Jamaica is after him, he played for Scotland. So, this kid has talent. This kid really has talent. I remember seeing him when Man City came to the United States and they were in a tournament with, some other European clubs. I mean, some MLS clubs and some other European clubs. And I think Man City ended up playing Barcelona. And I watched that game. And I mean, yes, it's a youth level. I get it. How does it translate? We don't know yet. But that kid definitely is a special talent, bro. I'm telling you. Something different about this kid. How I feel about him being in the Unity Cup squad, I don't know. It's kind of mixed. It's kind of mixed, to be honest. But let's see. Let's see. Hopefully he gets a chance. Hopefully we get to see his level, see where he's at. But yeah, he got the call up, and I think that was a bit surprising for me. But it is what it is. All right, Dejan Brown, he plays for Port Vale. He's on loan from Derby County. And he is somebody that I heard about when I first started watching his YouTube programs a few years back. He's a name that people would bring up. So I've been tracking his progress and stuff, seeing what he had been up to. Hasn't been able to really burst through at first team level the way he probably would want. We're talking about 3 goals, 3 assists over this course of the season. And to be honest, 3 of those goal contributions came in Football League Trophy, where he probably was playing, lower level opposition or U21 from the Premier League opposition. So, 3 of his 6 goal contributions came in quote unquote big man football, right? Even though Football League Trophy has big men in it, that competition is a bit of a watered down competition on the grand scheme of things. It's not as prestigious as the FA Cup and some of those other competitions that play, or the league for sure. So yeah, it is what it is. But Dejan Brown, young, so age on his side, is a unit. I liken his playing style to Mikel Antonio. Bulldozing, gonna take up space, occupy defenders, cause problems in that way. But yeah, I think hopefully he can be a little bit more clinical than what Antonio was throughout his career. I know Antonio did get a lot of goals, but he'll probably tell himself that he could have had even more if he was a little bit more clinical in front of the goal. Yes, Mothersill is in the playoff finals with Stockport. That game should be this weekend, I think. I think that's the 24th, I want to say. Either Friday or Saturday. Yeah, Mothersill didn't play enough. I agree. Didn't play enough. I agree. Palmer will be badly missed from this midfield, for sure. What about Trayvon Reed? He had a good season, even though how have you gone down? Yeah, I think the only thing I can think of for Trayvon Reed is the age. Maybe the age beat him. Because if you look at the JPL players selected, I think besides Tafari Chambers, all of them is under 24, I think. So maybe with Trayvon Reed, it was an age thing that kind of get him out. Maybe. All right, so I have Dejan Brown. Next player that got called, and I was surprised by this as well, is Nick Simmons, or Nicholas Simmons. He's now at North Texas SC, was drafted by FC Dallas, but is playing and has played this season in the MLS as well. But he's kind of splitting time between both teams to make sure that he's getting a lot of games. So he's played some next pro games this season. Did play one most recently, May the 16th. In next pro, he has 1 goal, 1 assist. And then in the MLS itself, he has made 3 appearances with 1 start. Last appearance coming back in April. He had back-to-back appearances in April. They must have been dealing with some kind of injury at the club for him to just get those 3 games and not come back. So North Texas SC, so he's playing in MLS Next Pro. and that is Nick Simmons. Five one. Yeah, so Nicholas Simmons gets into the team. And then Kaheem Dixon. So Dixon was loaned out, came back to his parent club, Charlton, and was just not quite able to, break his way into that first team, predominantly used with their U21s to close out the season since January when he returned. Just has not been able to crack that squad at all. Did have an 11-minute appearance. Oh no, never mind. That's for Crawley. Never mind. Yeah, so Kaheem Dixon starring up the U18 league. Yeah, I'll give him that. Not U18, the U21 league, professional development league. Don't know if he scored as many goals as last season though. Hold on, people, man. Try to find some. Trick me, people. Me seriously made out something. Yeah, man. Palmer should have been there. I agree. He never went there. He followed with Tapper. They wanted to sell him to Arnott in January, then changed their mind. Loser to play in the final game. Speid didn't respect the baller and what he has done for the team, in my opinion. So Brahma said him should have played. Travis liked the squad. Would we say play your age about Yamal? No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't. Let's see Kalen play. If he if he's Yamal like, then I'll shut the F up. Paris, Trevante, and Satchwell, some persons in the JFF fight these youths. Yeah. Don't get it on none of those three players, honestly. Satchwell to a lesser extent because you could maybe argue the league where him play this and that. But Paris and Trevante, bro, and Javan East, travesty. I think it's good for bringing Low and Hayden. We need a few veterans. Low credit never turned down a call up, regardless of the significance of the game. Yeah, Brian Kova is there. Feel like we always waste players who actually put in work. They said don't call him at this time. All right. Since Brian Kova brought up is that Denzel Hall, Dutch Jamaican guy, anyone good they play for same team? Or are they any is he any good? I can't say I was overly impressed when I watched him play because I did because him name Hall, So I may find out about him and definitely go look. But yeah, he's okay. He's serviceable. I wouldn't say he's serviceable. So Nikolai Fuller and Raheem Edwards again getting on the score sheet, but it wasn't enough yesterday. And Fuller definitely carried or tried to carry a Tivoli team that struggled. And Fuller gets like continuity. He was called up when players dropped out of the player squad. And Raheem Edwards just missed out probably on a chance to travel to that playoff as well because clearly he's the pick of the bunch when it comes down to JPL strikers at the moment. So he's in the team and Warner Brown is not. So yeah, that's the Unity Cup squad. Let me just put it back on screen. Remind you guys of the names. We are at about 2.5 hours of a ball game right now, so we are probably going to close it off for the day. But I just wanted to put this back on screen so you guys could see, and I'll run through the comments before I head out of the building. And then tomorrow is another day, my people. All right. So once again, the Unity Cup squad: Joshua Grant, Kanaya Boyce Clark, Tafari Chambers, Damian Lowe, Joel Latibodir, Giovanni Leng, Odin Samuel Smith, Ronaldo Webster, Christopher Ainsworth, Dexter Lembikisa, Marlon Van de Veteran, Isaac Hayden, Courtney Clark, Nikhil Ellis, Dwight Merrick, Brandon Kovac, Tyrese Hall, Bailey Kadamatri, Kalen Kadamatri, Dejan Brown, Nick Simmons, Kaheem Dixon, Nikolai Fuller, and Raheem Edwards. So that is the Unity Cup squad. Need to find out from the sources when them leaving, how that will affect the JPL ballers and the coach. We will find that all out once we get in touch with people, and we will forward again. Now, of course, Arsenal have won the EPL. Yep, Arsenal have won the EPL. People, if you've been under a rock, that happened. But we do have one last match day to go through. So the usual preview review show. It will be a quicker time frame though. Saturday night preview, Sunday night review, and that will just recap the last match week. Of course, the title is decided, but relegation still up for grabs. Some European places still up for grabs. So a lot to talk about and discuss. And we have 10 games to try to predict. And I need to do better this week because I was terrible last week at that. So just for that reason alone, I'll be back to redeem myself. But at least have a chance to play Champions League next season. He's actually been better than Stuart of late. He has been. St. Mirren could get relegated on Monday. Yes, I think the 25th is their second leg. I think the first leg is actually today. So should watch that game. Courtney Clark played just like Andy Williams. He's going to hold on to the ball a lot and shift players all game. Creative midfielder, but his defense is not the best. All right. Thank you, Odell Lowe, for that. What are we really doing? I need Speeder, who are running the show, to share the short-term plan and next World Cup cycle plan. No. Hollywood FC still going to push. Right? Wait, what? I thought St. Mirren was a top club. I don't watch that league, but I thought they won some trophy. Yeah, they won the League Cup in Scotland, but, any team can go make a cup run. Muffin is not tough at all. Muffin is a small dog. Muffin is like 10 pounds. Not a Chihuahua. She's a Yorkie and a Maltese mix. Yeah, man. Muffin, all Muffin are doing, when the people them come do the lawn care, she make sure say them a do them job. So she look out the window and bark after them. When them there in the front, she tell them, yo, this so, clean up that. She do all of that. So moreover why she make up so much nice. Basically, fair yard. Yeah, he's projected to be much better than his brother. However, Jason, we know how football goes, not everyone in there, especially at the youth level. Yeah, it's all projections right now. No, he never left Jamaica. Maybe. When you listen to Kadamatri's father interview, something happened between him and England Federation back in his playing days because he don't want his kids to play for them. Yeah, no, I get that. But I guess Scotland never did anything to him. Ainsworth are playing the JPL for the last 4 years. Merrick looks like a decent number 6. One that could be racism. England notorious for that. Travis don't believe you, Odell. I don't know why Travis don't believe you, but him just not believe you. In interviews talking about the federation, bro. Not saying that's the reason, saying it could be. Yes, Nick Simmons is Cameron's brother. Yes. And they actually have 2 more little brothers that are both playing for Philadelphia Union Academy now. And they're supposed to be better than Nick. Just like Kalen and his brothers, Ainsworth need to start, Lowe need to sit out in their game. Paris a good winger. We short wingers on this squad. Yeah, Paris should be there, bro. Unless him just maybe he made himself unavailable. I don't know, but I would be looking at him because I think he's at the peak of his powers right now. So if you're gonna give him a chance again for Jamaica, now is the time. New cycle. Let's see. But people, let me close the poll. Looks like a lot of you said you did find the like button. So I know at one point we had about 80, 90 of you guys here. So that simply means we should be able to get the likes up. We're at 66 likes, people. The goal is to the 100 likes. So the 40 odd, 50 of you still here. Please, if you haven't already, locate the like button, smash it. We're up to 67. Let's keep that going, people. We need 33 more likes. We need to get to 100 likes, 100 likes, 100 likes, people. But people, that's it, That is it. We had a great time bringing you the content today. Like I said, it was a reasoning time that's a little bit different. We had something to react to in real time. That was the Under-17 World Cup draw. Once again, Jamaica in the group with Italy, Ivory Coast, and Uzbekistan. So that is the group for Jamaica in the Under-17 World Cup. I believe it's in Group E. Yes, we're in Group E, people. So big up to each and every one of you that tuned in today. We got to the U17 draw, spoke a little bit about the players that played for us in the qualifiers. Didn't really dive too far into what we need to change, if we need to change anything going into the final round in November. And then we moved on to the Unity Cup squad that was released. Just wanted to go through and give a breakdown or just a little bit of knowledge about some of the players that were selected that some of you might not know, where they're playing, how their seasons went, things of that nature. So yeah, we went through all of that, people, and now it's time for me to move on and do some other things with my day. All right, people, so big up on yourselves. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Jason Gooner. This is Jason Gooner TV. And in case you guys forgot, congrats again to the EPL champions, Arsenal Football Club. JGTV signing out, people. We are the champions, my friend.